Welcome to What We Watch When We Drink, a Booze Dancing Entertainment Network podcast featuring lively discussions about movies, TV shows, and anything else that we're watching while we drink our favorite boozy beverages. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Audible, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can also find us on boozdancing.com, and if you have any questions, comments, show or drink suggestions, email us at boozdancing@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
We are back. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. This is Whiskey Wednesday again, isn't it? Whiskey Wednesday. Booze Dancing Entertainment Network is live. Welcome to What We Watch When We Drink, the live stream / podcast / epic show of our time. How's that? There you go.
Sure.
This is episode 52, I believe. 52 is our number here now.
That is correct.
Want to remind everyone that this is live tonight. You can drop your comments in the comment section if you're watching on not Twitter, but on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And this will become a podcast in about a week or so that you can download. Don't want to forget to let everyone know to check out boozdancing.com for all the most timely reviews from my two cohorts here of beer and spirits and cleaning products. They'll review pretty much anything that comes in the mail.
Any liquid will drink it, really. Any liquid at all.
Well, you know what? I am Mr. Clean.
You are Mr. Clean.
I am Mr. Clean.
And we are reviewing Mr. Clean next week, I believe.
Yes.
The cast strength version. How are we doing, guys? We doing okay?
We're good. We're good. It might come to fisticuffs tonight, but we're good.
We are
Fisticuffs.
Sans.
I'm in my,
We are
Why
sans.
I oughta.
I'm in my mash tub whirlpool. This is the
Why
best
I
way to
oughta.
roll for me. I'm just kind of floating along in a mash tub.
You know, it's funny. My eldest
Is it?
has been just doing like bad 30s movies. He's like, we should watch Angels with Dirty Faces. Goes, put them up. See, put them up. I'll show you
Wow.
what for. He's just going off.
Little Cagney going on. Nice.
Ah,
How old
you betcha.
How old is he? Like 87?
Who? Cagney or
Your son.
number one
Your
son?
son.
Yeah,
Your
he's
son.
he's 19 going on 84. Yes.
That's okay. That's all right. So he was with Cagney when Cagney was doing those first early movies.
Yeah, see, man, yeah.
He saw him in the theaters when it was just a talkie
You betcha
Yeah,
there, Buckaroo. You
at the
betcha.
motion picture show,
That's right.
the moving
A nickel.
picture show.
A
And
nickel.
nickel. That's right. You can see 3 shows. We doing okay? We ready to rock and roll here?
I think so. Might
We
get
are?
bloody, but it's good. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So
Because
we
love. Well, I won't say it. Go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
I was. We are without guests tonight. I think we didn't have a guest last week, but we'll get back on the guest circuit here soon. So tonight we're just doing a one movie, and we're bringing out some old favorites to drink tonight to pass the time with our movie talk. The movie we have, I just posted on Instagram that it's Kristen Stewart night because we are doing. Because I have to say, I really like her a lot. We are doing a movie from this year. Usually we do movies from 25 years ago. This is actually kind of different for us. So we are actually trying to be current, like the kids. We have 2024's Love Lies Bleeding, which came out, I believe, earlier in the year.
March
correct?
10th, 2024 release.
March 10th. So we're talking like almost 6 months ago.
Not
Not even. And so this is a new flick. I don't believe it's in the theaters anymore. I'm sure you can get it on, we saw it on HBO or Max, or whatever you call it. And this movie, just to give you a sense of what we're drinking, this movie feels like it's from another time. At least it's intended to. It feels like it's from the 1970s, 1980s. So our beverages of choice individually have that kind of spirit, no pun intended, has that kind of spirit in our choices. So why don't we start with a drink? Because I think we're going to need one tonight. Why don't we everyone pick a cocktail or beverage of choice, and we'll go around the room. I think some of us are just drinking one item, but a couple of us drinking 2 items. Michael, what are you drinking there?
Well, the movie is set 35 years ago in 1989.
1989.
So Gilo and I had a conversation about what we thought the bourbons would have been in 1989, and most of the, I would say, more artistic bourbons were either in their infancy or not even conceived at that point in time.
Inconceivable.
So, I went with a bottle that I believe I liberated from my father's liquor cabinet, an old bottle of Jim Beam.
There you go.
Because I'm sure Jim Beam was around in 1989.
It was very much around. Yes, it was.
Ange, what do you got?
Me, I got one of your old favorites. 1-year-old standby.
1 sec. Hold on, Ange. 1 sec. Ange,
Yeah.
1 sec.
Yes.
Mike, what size bottle was that?
It's it's not a handle. It's
not a handle. Okay.
It's a regular bottle.
What does Jim Beam cost? Any idea what Jim Beam costs today?
I don't know, $20.
What? Is it $20?
Yeah, maybe 30.
The white label?
Maybe 30. Maybe 30. I don't know.
I don't
It
think
can't
so.
be much more than that.
I think it's in the 20s.
And a handle probably costs you $10 more.
Wow.
You know,
And
add
getting
10 to
double
whatever
the
the
amount,
price
right?
you're paying. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
It's
And
very popular.
And if it fit in my dad's liquor cabinet, he probably would have had a handle of it, but it didn't. So he got a regular bottle.
There you go.
He
All
knew
right.
Morgan.
Ange, what you got, Ange?
I'm in Mike's wheelhouse. We got the good old-fashioned Jameson triple distilled Irish whiskey. Coming in
go.
Is
a
it any
whopping.
good? I've never had it. Is it good?
It's
I've never heard of
not
it.
bad. It's good.
And
Can
that's
you spell that?
That's American whiskey?
That
Is that what that is?
G-A? Or is it J-A?
Jameson, like J. Jonah.
J. Jonah
Like
Jameson.
J. Jonah
it's
Jameson.
affiliated with Spider-Man. It's part of the
Yeah.
Spider-Man whiskey collection.
It is part of the multiverse. It is in the multiverse.
Nice.
It is, and it comes in at a whopping 40% ABV.
As does the Jim Beam. Yeah.
So we're
And as
we're
does
setting the bar low.
as does mine. I have the Seagram 7 American
Oh.
blended whiskey.
There you go.
Yes,
Ooh.
because as I recall, 7 and 7s were a very popular drink of that era. 7 Up and Seagram 7.
Yep.
I think, don't you guys? For years I always thought this was Canadian whiskey.
So
I think
did
when
I.
I was a kid, it was right. Proudly blended and bottled in America. Now
Really?
it may be, but blended. But I wonder if it's distilled in at.
It's
Canada.
it's MGP.
It's MGP. Is that right?
Is there
That
a
was Seagram's
location on that?
distillery.
I
The
did not know
Seagram's
that
family,
this is
they were somewhat Canadian, and
correct.
they the first generation makes the money, the second generation makes it more, the third generation blows it. The third generation decided they wanted to become movie producers, over leveraged the business, and wound up losing portions of the distillery. So the main distillery for Seagram's was out in at MGP. Well, what the site that they've since moved from that initial site, but that was what it was. And they decided to be like, well, we've got all this backstock and we know what we're doing. Let's just keep doing it for other people. And they became a contract distiller and making stuff on their own.
Interesting on the back of this, it says blended and bottled by Seven Crown Distilling Company, New York, New York. 75% neutral grain spirits.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there you go. So
would
our
it be
first
light?
drink. So I guess it'll be a light whiskey, right?
Right, a light
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
That's what I
And
said.
also 40% also too. Are we
Okay.
ready to do a
Cheers,
little toast to this one?
All
Cheers.
right, gentlemen.
Ready? Un, deux, trois. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, in this case, it's more of like, based upon our conversation before the start, it's more of like the first round. It's like the ring, ding, ding.
Right.
Not
It's
at
more
all.
like that.
Not at all.
What we have here is a failure to communicate. No, that's not the word.
That's
You
it.
see, boy, you're square dance.
What dance?
I keep
All
it
right.
throwing
So
them.
where shall we
You keep
begin?
missing
Where do
them.
we begin?
Whoa. When do we start with drinking?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I
That's
mean,
what we
you
do
know,
here.
Forgot. What do we do then? The first sip of this is, I don't want to say off-putting, but it's just different because I typically drink a higher proof. And the bourbon might be something that's aged differently than this. After the third or fourth sip, though, this is pretty good.
No, it's not bad.
I'm enjoying
It's good
this.
stuff. And
This,
does it get any more easy drinking than Jameson? Really?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's why. Didn't we talk about this with Joanne? That it's like
Mhm.
in every bar in the world,
Yes.
every airplane in the world, every airport bar in the world. It's every liquor store. It's everywhere.
Should I get some pickle juice?
No.
You could.
God,
You-
no. No,
Or just some
You
pickles.
could.
I wouldn't mind some
I
pickles.
wouldn't-
no
wouldn't
pickle back.
I got some good pickles.
This Seagram's is really, really one vapory,
Yeah.
two really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, I'm surprised. It's actually not so horrible. It's actually pretty good.
Huh.
Well, that should be on the poster.
Not really
It's actually
horrible.
not so horrible. It's actually pretty
Yeah.
good. And then your name underneath,
And
Aaron.
did you, Aaron, 2024?
Two thumbs on his hand. No, not up. They're not down. They're just on his hands.
Did you guys drink 7 and 7s?
Probably.
Yeah.
I was
I
actually,
don't remember. I don't remember them specific. I haven't had one for years, but I could see myself liking it. It's weird, lemon and lime, and this is. It sounds crazy, but it sounds like I could do that.
why would it be bad?
I don't know.
I
I guess it'd be like putting lime and lemon instead of 7 Up. You probably get something similar with some club soda.
Another kind of highball. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You just use the names for the products instead of just saying I want a highball. I want a 7 and 7.
That's right.
That's right. Is that like a Stoli Doli?
Stoli Doli.
Stoli
What goes
Doli.
in that?
Yeah.
If you have to ask me, I can't help you anymore.
Stoli?
Stoli?
Stoli vodka?
Maybe.
Oh,
Never
all
heard
right.
of it.
We have our
Wednesday
first
now?
cocktail, our first whiskey in us.
Uh-oh.
It's actually I'm actually surprised this is better than I thought. It's weird.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Love Lives Bleeding, 2024, on What We Watch When We Drink. This one with stars. Well, Ange, why don't you give us the rundown from where did you get the rundown from? The Rundown Factory.
Where do we all get rundowns? IMDb.
Oh,
So-
okay, that'll work.
Release date, March 10th, 2024. Couldn't figure out the budget. I don't think it was much. It might be like in the 10 million range, roughly.
Huh.
Gross box office USA and Canada, 8.4 million. Opening weekend USA and Canada, a pittance, $150,000.
Whoa.
Gross worldwide box office, 12.5 million. So IMDb gives it a 6.7 out of 10, which I believe is all user-based, right? So just user-based reviews.
Right.
The Rotten Tomatoes, 94%, and the Metascore is a 77. Would you like a plot summary?
Yes.
I'd like to know who
Most
the 94% people are and the 77%.
Me.
Because
Me.
I'm guessing
one
there
of
were
them.
like 9.4 people reviewed that, liked it, because I'm in the 6%, I suppose.
Oh, you're a 6%er then. Is that what you're saying?
Hey,
I'm a 6%er. That's right.
Jesus Christ. All right. So
we are
let me get to the plot.
Plot summary.
Plot summary. Lou is a reclusive gym manager who falls hard for Jackie, an ambitious bodybuilder who's heading to Vegas to pursue her dream. Their love soon leads to violence as they get pulled deep into the web of Lou's criminal family. Filming locations Albuquerque and Rio Rancho, New Mexico. The director is Rose Glass. She's English. The writers are Rose Glass and Weronika Tofilska. And the stars of the show are Kirsten Stewart as Lou, Katie O'Brien as Jackie, Dave Franco as JJ, Jenna Maloney as Beth, Anna Baryshnikov, daughter of the ballet guy, Mikhail, plays Daisy, and Ed Harris as Lou Sr., Lou's dad. So that's what we got.
Wow. Okay. Now you were the one that recommended this movie to us for tonight.
Correct.
How did you come about this movie?
I suggested that we
Suggested.
Yeah, so Sunday morning I woke up. The lads were asleep. The house was quiet. So I said, you know what? While I'm wide awake, I'm going to watch a movie. So I put on Max, and it was one of the featured, one of the recent releases on Max.
It was the only thing on Max, so you watched it. Because it was the only thing to watch, obviously.
I watched the trailer. I was intrigued.
I get it.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to give this movie a try.
And did you know of this movie beforehand?
I saw the posters. That's as far as it went. I didn't really know much about it. So
Got it. Okay.
I enjoyed it. And then afterwards, I actually listened to a podcast about it. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Where they apologized for making the movie? Was that the podcast? I'd like to listen to that.
it was people like
I'd like my
us.
$4 back.
$4. $4. Where
Oh,
do you
you
see
rented
movies
it?
now?
Now, what was the cost of a movie in 1989? Like $4?
Oh, that's
$3.50?
probably
What
true.
do you
Yeah.
think?
Maybe.
I
Okay,
want
maybe.
$4 back.
Did it say what time it's supposed to be filmed?
Yeah,
Oh,
89.
1989.
1989.
89. Right.
So
Okay.
I
That
heard the
makes
interview
sense.
with the director, and basically she's like, you make a movie in today's age, and pretty much all of the plot holes can be filled with a cell phone. So basically,
We've talked about that. We have talked
cell
about
phones
that
have
on
kind
here.
of ruined everything, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Okay, so boy, that's a really interesting point. Hearing it from a director, that's so true.
Yep.
And we have mentioned this topic many times before. Okay, so I guess to our audience, it would not be a shocker that two of the three people in this group, one loved this movie. Well, I would say liked this movie. I'm not sure I loved, and one did not like this movie, and I'm withholding my vote yet. So, Andrew, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Why did you? What was intriguing about the movie? Why did you? I assume you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
Did you like it from? Did you like it from an entertainment standpoint, purely entertainment, or did you feel like it was some deeper meaning, or it was great filmmaking? What was the?
I liked everything about it. I liked the look. I liked the feel of it, the mood. It was like all those movies we watched during the '80s, like Body Heat.
Yes,
or
it did. It was that.
It had all these little things. Body, even like the last one, like the Last Seduction, or Bound. All these movies, it's got this whole thing. Or even if you go back even further, like one of these 1940s film noirs. Like a Double Indemnity and all this kind of stuff. You've got the love interest, and you've got all this like steamy romance, and it was a little sleazy, and it was a little sexy, and it was just really fun. I thought it was a fun ride.
I thought the same, in the sense that it looked like it was definitely trying to be a movie of that era, right? I remember I told my wife, I said I watched this movie and it felt like I was watching Cinemax in 1980 something.
Oh, absolutely.
And a late night movie, and probably trying too hard, trying to be a little too artsy, but it doesn't matter. It's not trying to be winning an Academy Award for sure. It really had that feel to it, of that strange era of movie making, where some really big movie makers were making movies for of that genre. I'm not sure what genre you call this, but
you know what I like too about it? They just throw you right into it immediately. You're introduced to everybody. You get a really good feel with just that opening shot of the gym. It's dark, it's moody, it's kind of kind of a little fuzzy. They just kind of do like that little vignettes of what's going on in the gym, everybody working out, all the motivational signs that are all over the gym, and it's like a dirty, filthy gym in the late '80s in the middle of the desert. Not that I've ever been to a dirty, filthy gym in the middle of the desert, but it had that feel.
The desert thing is such it's almost a stereotype. Those movies they're all the ones I can think of are in the middle of the desert, and usually at night. There's a lot of nighttime scenes in the desert with a trailer, right? And there's a trailer, and there's lights strewn, and Rosanna Arquette or one of the Arquette sisters is walking around half naked. That seems like a movie, right?
Sure.
And some guy with there's always an old truck. Yes, there's an old truck, and
absolutely.
They're cliche for a reason, because that's what a lot of life is in the desert, right? And there's probably drugs and there's alcohol, and it's sort of cliche, but it's so true. Okay, so you just found it entertaining.
I don't think I don't think it tried hard at all. It felt pretty effortless to me. I mean, okay, the ending was a little off the wall, but I thought it was just fun. It was just ludicrous and fun.
Okay, Michael. Now you seem to have a differing opinion, which I should say, we believe at Booze Dancing that that the world is made of many opinions.
This is what gets sent to the green room.
Not just mine. Just mine.
Nice trying your subject. Stylistically, I think it did a very nice job of capturing the late '80s. I did not think that the story was as good as any of the movies that you just mentioned. And at one point, I think it got too hallucinogenic in various aspects of it. That it just got to be too like, I don't know what's going on here. Without giving away too much, it became a trip to the desert with She-Hulk, and I'm not exactly sure when that happened.
It was that was insane. I'll admit that was
It was
insane.
like
But you know
a
what?
time traveling Ben Franklin and She-Hulk, and I'm not sure what went wrong there. What I thought was interesting is Jenna Malone, who is Ed Harris's daughter in this, was actually Ed Harris's daughter in another movie called Stepmom when she was a young girl.
Funny.
And I think it's amusing that now she's not a young girl and she's now his daughter still. But they wonder, like,
that is interesting.
We're looking for somebody to play Ed Harris's daughter. Who should it be? Who should it be? Who should it be? Hey, you know what? We got somebody. I have experience. I've played his daughter before.
Hey, Aaron, question for you.
Really, yes,
Dave Franco is James Franco's brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
So
sounds right,
do the Franco brothers, are they working on like a little, what do you want to call it? Monopolizing the sleazy guy like roles? Because they're both pretty good at it.
It's a niche.
James has his issues, as we may or may not know. He has some problems, right? So, interestingly, we always like digging into the cast. Dave Franco is married to Alison Brie.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and we like Alison
Really?
Brie. She's been
I
read
like
everything,
Alison
right?
I like Dave Franco.
Brie.
I think I like Dave Franco.
She's
the Catch
What
Me
is-
If You Can movies
what-
are great.
What movie?
Oh, that's
I'm
what he's
sorry,
from. Yeah.
Catch
What'd
Me
you say, Mike?
The Catch Me If You Can movies are great with Dave Franco.
He's in Catch Me If You Can?
No, it's not Catch Me. It's the magician movies. The Now You See Me.
Oh, I know what you mean. Now You See Me.
Well,
or
now you
See
see
Me.
me, right?
I've never
Yeah,
seen them.
there's been a few of those. Yeah.
They were horrible. What the hell are you talking about? Do you know anything?
Oh, I see, Mr. Contrary. I like a movie that makes more than $12. I don't know. I'm crazy that way.
Oh, so is that what it is? Is that what it's
I like a
about?
blockbuster.
It's all about
not just
money.
a block.
It's about how much it makes? No.
It should be.
No.
I just thought stylistically it was good, and then it seemed to lose its way somewhere in it. And I get you're playing like downtrodden, oppressed, and desert people. Why don't they bathe?
Because there's no water in the desert.
Was
That's
it-
why there's
maybe
nobody in
Maybe
New
it's a
Mexico.
drought,
It looked as if
drought thing.
Kristen Stewart, she needed a good scrubbing. She looked like throughout the movie.
Everyone
Just
needed a
down
good
and
scrubbing.
Please wash your hair.
Yes.
Come on, man. I don't know.
Everyone
needed
needed
And actually,
a good,
it was
nice
great.
shower.
And I don't know if it's a metaphor. I'm not
No,
good at
why?
like the interpreting of a movie. The way they open up, they're panning across the gym, everybody's working out, and then they cut to Kristen Stewart pulling all that crap out of the toilet with her bare
Oh
hands.
my god!
Well, it gives
That
you an idea
was
what life
just
is. What's
spectacular.
life about? What is your
That's
lot in life?
Yep.
Apparently
That's
that's
true.
it.
And I guess that's some sort of a metaphor. I don't know. I can't interpret it that way, but I'm not good at expressing those things. But it was fantastic.
Well, what I found interesting was she had her hand in a toilet, and that wasn't the worst part of that scene for her.
Oh, it was having that girl hit on her?
Having the girl hit on her.
Having
That
Daisy
she would
hit on
rather
her?
have had her hand in the
Ew.
toilet than talk to that girl.
Ew!
Which I think was-
Ew!
It juxtaposed.
Ew!
the
Gross.
scene there.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That was the
And
best
you
part
wanna-
of my day.
You want to give us a little bit deeper synopsis of this movie, where this thing goes to, for those who have not seen this movie?
From me personally?
Well, I mean, give us a overview, a more specific overview of where this thing, because it does go off the deep end in a few places.
Yeah, sure.
Which I should add, Michael. I agree with you. I do remember movies from the 80s and 90s that went, because I think it was the filmmaker, like Coppola did one, and I think Arquette was in that one that I remember. And I always got the sense that those kinds of movies were a director trying to be overly artistic. He's just make a movie. You don't have to go wacky, and everything doesn't have to be a symbol and a metaphor. And this movie kind of does the same thing. There are wacky symbols in this whole movie. There are the end of it is just off the rails, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of it has to do with drugs in that sense. But there's also other things that you could argue is bigger than drugs. bad daddy daughter relationship, daddy criminal relationship. It's the whole thing's one big metaphor. But I always have a problem when the metaphor is just thrown in your face like that. And hey, look, it's a giant person. That means that person can't find love, or whatever the metaphor.
The one thing that bothered me the most in the movie was the domestic violence aspect of it.
Yeah, that was a little tough.
And then there's a movie Bucket List. It's Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. And in the movie, Jack Nicholson plays like a captain of industry kind of guy who has a daughter, and she gets married, and the guy hits her. And the first time, he lets the daughter handle it. And the second time, he handles it, and the daughter never sees the guy again. He doesn't kill the guy. He just never sees the guy again. And the daughter is now estranged from him because she drove her love away. In this movie, Ed Harris's character plays a very bad man.
Yes.
And yet he doesn't seem to care that his daughter's husband routinely beats her. Yeah. And I would think, if you're a very bad man, first off, you would think twice before you hit the very bad man's daughter. And secondly, if you hit the very bad man's daughter one time, I don't think there's a second time. And throughout the movie, you see her in various stages of arm in a sling, black eye, fat lip, and then a brutal beating at the end. And you just think, I don't know what kind of very bad man you are, but I would have handled that very differently if I was a very bad man. I just thought that was odd.
As I get older, I like seeing that kind of stuff on screen less. I like seeing it less. That and violence with animals. I don't want to see that. Of course, children, but it's interesting in this day and age, that's still a thing that's portrayed on. No, granted, he doesn't come away a happy camper from all of it at the end, but right. So
someone puts a stop to it.
He pays a big price. I just don't like seeing the violence. I'm with you. I don't like seeing the violence either.
Yeah, it just seems odd that you're trying to portray Ed Harris's character in a certain light, and yet he lets.
Well, I don't think he wasn't portrayed in any sympathetic way, in any stretch. I mean, he's a scumbag through and through.
Right, and my point being, like this guy, I would imagine he wouldn't hesitate the value of a life. He wouldn't hesitate to get rid of that guy in a heartbeat if he truly cared for his family.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what you take away from him is that he
didn't care about anybody. Right? I mean, they allude to the fact that he got rid of his first wife.
Right.
That he probably killed her.
No, she left 12 years ago. She just left. She left.
Yeah.
Which it would have been nice to find some resolution to that. If mom was, where's mom?
Well, she might have been one of those bodies at the bottom of the ravine or the gut or whatever.
True. Yeah. Or was it the sequel that we're waiting for?
The other thing I thought was odd was at the very end when the agents come to visit her, and they basically tell her that the son-in-law was one of their informants. And you think, all right, Ed Harris, you're supposed to be this very bad guy, and you don't kill your son-in-law for beating your daughter. And you don't even realize your son-in-law is ratting you out to the feds. Like you're not a very good bad guy. There's just something wrong.
And he's got cops on the payroll.
At the very least, you'd have been like, you know what? I'm not going to kill you for hurting my daughter, but I got to kill you for a different reason.
Mike, it was a different time. It was 1989. It was a different time.
We grew up watching The Godfather.
Right.
What happened to to Carlo? What happened to Carlo?
True.
Small time criminal or a small town in the middle of nowhere thinks he can get away with everything and doesn't pick up all the loose pieces.
Well, given his age, I'd say he gets away with a lot for a long time.
He
has. Correct.
You know what I found interesting is he runs a gun club, and he's a gun runner.
Yes,
and that's got to be a perfect cover because I could order as many guns as I wanted to sell and just tell I sold them all and just send them somewhere else. That was ingenious, I thought.
Does Kristen Stewart own that gym?
No. The dad
Who owns
owns
it?
the gym, and I guess
It
she
seems
runs
like
it.
the dad owns the town.
Got it.
Right.
Because it's called Louville.
Yeah,
Wasn't it called, right, the place?
yeah,
And her name's Lou.
yeah.
He's trying to buy
And
her
his
love.
name's Lou.
His name's Lou too?
Yeah, he's
Did I
Lou
know that?
Senior.
Is he?
Lou Senior.
Oh, he is Lou Senior. Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's funny. A lot of Lou's. Lou. That's a
Yep.
Lulu.
Yep.
Quite
yep,
the
yep.
Lulu. So we didn't talk about. Well, let's talk about these. When do we stop here? Let's get another drink. Or you guys
Another
have the
drink?
same
Okay.
drink, right?
Okay. Well, I'm getting a different drink. I'm going a different drink.
Maybe he had a different movie too.
Quiet, you. Just drink. Drink up.
All right.
Drink
What's
up.
your, what's your
Playing
other
the
drink?
role of both Statler and Waldorf sitting in the balcony of the Muppet Show.
All right, Andrew. What's your second
I
drink?
got some Johnny Walker Black. I'm going classic.
Johnny Walker Black.
You're classic.
I'm
Johnny
getting.
Walker Black.
Wow, you are classy.
I got a mini.
And Mike, you're still on the beam.
Still working the beam.
All right.
Are you the
And
balance?
I am also.
Yeah, working the balance beam. I'm
balance
about
beam?
to dismount.
It is the Olympics.
Perfect.
I'm about to
It is the
dismount.
Olympics. That's perfect.
The Olympics
you
are
are
still
you are
on.
the Gabby. You are the Gabby.
I'm the Gabby
Hayes?
Hayes of the balance beam.
Gabby
I'm the
Hayes on the balance beam.
I'm the Gabby Hayes.
That reference is for the three of us, and maybe even two of us.
Yeah, I don't know who Gabby Hayes is.
There you go. It's for the two of us, Mike.
Western guy in every movie that was ever made.
Oh, okay.
Gabby Hayes.
He
No.
played a prospector. He played the drunk in the bar, whatever. Ooh, Southern Comfort. Nice.
I have Southern
Nice.
Comfort, the original.
SoCo.
It says the original.
SoCo in the house.
Established in 1874. This is an old brand.
Yeah.
1874. I actually
New
don't like
Orleans?
this label. I remember the old one that had the riverboat on the
paddle wheel.
Mississippi.
Yeah, paddle wheel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed that one. 35% alcohol. It's not even really. It says spirit whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color. Spirit whiskey.
It's a cocktail in a glass.
It is.
It's a cocktail in a glass produced by those fine folks at Sazerac. There you go. And I used to
Yeah,
drink a
this-
lot of this back in the day.
This has had a resurgence with people like Andre.
That's true. You know,
Mr. Darlington went and found that this sat in a lot of people's bars and wasn't used, and it's great in cocktails.
if you, it's supposed to be orange. Was it supposed to be orange? Wasn't that the primary flavor in it?
Yeah, I think it's
Orange?
orange. Orange and a little bit of cherry.
There's a lot of orange in this.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure it's all very natural.
Sure. Those guys at Sazerac, they're not messing around.
God, I literally remember drinking bottles the size of it
SoCo.
with friends in a night. A whole bottle. Maybe.
That explains a lot.
It does
This-
explain. In Southern, and with Coke.
Yeah. Okay,
He
back
had
to
his-
this movie.
He had his Steelers helmet on with the two sides and just kept pouring it in. And
Okay. Sorry, I took my first sip of this thing.
All right, back to this
I-
movie. You know what I also like about it?
Wait, hold. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
This is like syrup. This is like syrup.
Can you put
This
it
is
in
like
pancakes?
pancakes.
You gonna
It's
put it in
not
French toast?
that. It's not that thick, but it's syrup
tastes it.
like
What?
flavor.
What if you
Yeah.
just put it in a pan and reduce it by half, and put on your
That would
put on
work.
some French toast?
I would actually do that. I would do that because I think
a dare.
the flavor, and maybe you could add a little maple to it. But it's syrup like. I'm sorry. Let's get back to that movie.
That's okay. You know what I liked about it too. Even the way that they set it up in the beginning, like we were talking about the cleaning out the toilet and how she was kind of repulsed by Daisy, and how cleaning the toilet was better than hanging with Daisy. But then when she's just sitting at the counter, and Jackie walks in and she's checking her out, and she's just totally locked in on her. And they were completely unapologetic about it. I mean, it's 1989. I'm not sure how accepted a lesbian relationship is in 1989, especially in New Mexico.
No.
I don't
Probably
know.
not much. Yeah.
But it was very matter of fact. They didn't really make a big deal out of it, which was kind of cool in a way. So maybe it was accepted. It's not like anybody was harassing anybody about it.
well, and maybe people didn't harass her because they knew who her dad was.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's also
That could
true.
be something with it.
Yeah, maybe.
No. So let's look at this in a different way.
Okay.
Now, okay. Well, Mike, take this movie, the bones of this movie, and make it better for you?
I would get rid of all the hallucination stuff. I thought that got to be almost silly as she hulked. That seemed.
I thought the steroid. Let me add to that. I think this. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that
seemed too much.
Back to that. It's back to that metaphorical stuff from the director, and just be more upfront with what you're trying to say. I thought the steroid thing was interesting, and maybe a little bit unnecessary.
But it was realistic though at the time. Though.
It was realistic at the time.
Yeah.
But
no, not that it wasn't going on. I just don't know that it would have that real hallucinogenic effect and turn her into She-Hulk at various points.
Yes, I think.
I think you could have crafted this like Bound and some of the other ones as a better caper movie, where the whole point of this is to get out of town in some way.
Well,
and you're leaving town now with nothing at the end, instead of leaving town with all of Dad's money or something. Like they could have done something a little, I don't know, more switcheroo in my mind to go and do something different.
The murder aspect of it, I think is good. I mean,
and that I get. The steroids are going to make you impulsive. It's going to make you angrier. It's going to give you maybe outbursts. So when it happens, that makes sense. But then after that, there should have been like, okay, now we're going to do the switcheroo thing, and we're going to walk away with a big pile of jack. We're going to the bank and taking everything. Instead of, I'm going to be 60 feet tall and pick up Ed Harris.
There were times that thought of Ed Harris. He's like Colonel Kurtz at times, right? And maybe there's a little of that going on, where he's like this larger than life guy who owns this town and has his whole thing is buried at the bottom of the earth, and he's got this whole underworld character and underworld life. It almost made him. It was almost too dark. I thought he was too dark of a character for this movie. You could have made this movie where he's not this. He could be still evil as a small time hood who's had a horrible relationship with his daughter, and he's made some really bad decisions, and not be as dark as he is portrayed here, which I think is a little bit difficult, especially when you go back to the violence in the family aspect with his other daughter.
And you've seen the Breaking Bads and the Better Call Sauls and those types of things where there's a switcheroo, there's some other thing going on, there's some aspect of it where it's a gotcha, and that for me it wasn't there. I thought that the first probably 2/3 of the movie was okay, and then it's almost like they didn't know how to end it.
It's interesting when you get a gotcha, like the gotcha at the end of this. I don't know if it's a gotcha. What was that movie? What was that show we were watching on Apple? Sugar. Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar. Yeah.
Sugar. What's his name? Irish guy.
Colin Farrell.
Actor. Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And you find out that his people are from another planet, and in 2024 Hollywood. It just kind of throws you for the loop. It doesn't make sense. And some of this has that element to it as well. And it seems it's like you could do the story without that and maybe have it less shocking. I know the point of it is not the point of it. There's a metaphor there. But it seems like you could do the metaphor a different way.
Hey, I just thought it was fun. I don't know. I rolled with it. I like the character.
No.
The character was going.
Yeah. No. I didn't know.
It was weird.
What if they rode out on a unicorn? What if there was a
unicorn?
They might as
well have.
There's no unicorns in the desert.
How about a Pegasus, a flying horse? That would have been good.
Only if it's a burro, a mule.
If Benedict Cumberbatch opened a portal and she became the new She-Hulk. Sure, that would be great. It just seemed as if it was trying to do too much stylistic things.
I see your point.
And not ending the movie.
You have been very eloquent in your point, but for me, I didn't care. I like the characters. I like the way it was done. I thought it was just fun. It was a little over the top, but so what? That's what these movies are like.
You owe me 1 hour and 44 minutes of my life, but it's fine.
No, it sounds like I owe you 20 minutes because you didn't mind the first hour.
You owe me, let's see,
That's
the last third of the movie. You owe me about 32 minutes.
That's fine.
There
I'll
you
make
go.
you a pizza. Okay, will that make you happy? Give me some of those tomatoes. I'll make you a pizza.
Yeah, about
Jesus
32
Christ.
minutes, maybe 30.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I was intrigued because it's Kristen Stewart. I like her a lot.
I thought she was great. She was really good.
She was really good, and I think the
The
individual
unfortunate thing for me with her is I think she plays that same character a lot.
she does. Yes,
and
and
I'd like to see her play something else. She plays that character
Yeah.
very well,
yeah,
but I'd like to see her play something else
yeah.
where she's not like the sad, downtrodden,
Well, she's
depressed
done
person.
comedy, hasn't she?
Do something else.
She's done a couple. I think she has a couple comedies. Yeah,
She's done a
didn't she
couple
do one
comedies.
with Dan Levy, where she? Am I thinking that's right? She did a movie where she brings him home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't see it.
Yeah,
But I
didn't see
think
it either.
she seems like she really could do comedy great. She seems like in interviews I hear her, she sounds funny. She's definitely this artsy side of her that wants to do this
Yeah.
kind of thing too. Whether it's something violent or something sexual, she definitely has a bent towards the artsy side of things.
And we've talked about this before. One for the studio and one for me. One for the studio, one for me. I'll do one for you.
Yeah.
One for me.
It could be.
And it
Yeah.
seems as if she's not doing enough of either one for her or one for the studio, whichever. It seems like she's getting more work in the same kind of genre.
I think
And-
this was
And
independently
well,
financed.
the problem is she'll age out of it. And that's the kind of thing where, like, you're going to have a very short career if you can't, turn this different direction.
Didn't I see this was independently financed?
Uh,
A24 did it. I'm sorry. A24. And A24 is, this is the place now where so many independent films are being made and people are taking chances with them and TV and movies. And so it's like a perfect place for her to go with this. I don't know. It's not her idea, I don't think, but to take a movie and get it done, that's a place to go to right now. They're the hot place for financing and
By
production.
the way, she's got 66 credits already.
I saw her IMDb and it was just insane. And she's like, how old is she? Is she 30?
She's in her 30s, I guess.
Is she
been working
30?
since 99.
She is 34. Wow.
Okay.
She's got
So
quite
she's been
the
working since she was like 15.
list.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But
First time she was in a role was she was 12. She played the daughter of Jodie Foster in David Fincher's theater thriller The Panic Room. 2002.
Oh, really? Is that her?
Apparently so.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
But when you
But
see,
doesn't hit the big time.
someone similar to this, I would say, was Linda Fiorentino.
Okay.
Except,
and you
she
don't see
petered out.
her making movies now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she aged out of that role. So where do you go from there? Or like even Jennifer Tilly, playing the other aspect of it, the bombshell. She's again, nothing wrong with. I'm sure they're great actresses, but they're not getting parts because I don't think they got enough variety early on. And she's in that. Once you're over 30, you got to start. Stop turning into the skid. You got to go a different direction.
Oh, if we go back to our girl Linda Fiorentino, I think she got robbed with Men in Black 2 because she should have
She
had
did.
that part.
And it could have changed her career.
Yeah, because she
Yeah,
can
she
do
got
comedy. She's funny.
Well, yeah, and this movie, Kristen Stewart has a few of these under her belt. It doesn't feel like this is the right era for this movie, right? It's this movie. If you want that to be your career, you should have been born 60 years ago. And when those movies were really popular for a long time.
Yeah.
Now you got to really broaden yourself and get into comedy or rom-com or whatever, something more maybe broader based. I like her a lot, and she was really good. Actually, everyone was really good in this, I thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of Ed Harris. He feels like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but he does it really well.
He does it. He does.
He does it really
like
well.
Jeff Daniels is a one-trick pony. He does it really well. There are those guys
Jeff Daniels is pretty versatile, though. I think Jeff Daniels can do a lot of different stuff.
I like
He
him a
can
lot.
be dumb.
It feels like he's
He can be dumb or he can
or
be dumb.
dumb.
He can
Right.
be dumb or dumber.
Boom!
could
Boom!
either.
I was saying
He's got two things in.
Dumb and Dumber.
He's great in The Martian though.
Oh,
Jeff Daniels.
yeah, Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is good. He's highly underrated.
He's
You know what he's good in? You know what he's good in? Speed.
great in Speed. He's great in Speed.
He's good in Speed. He's good in a lot of stuff. He's a very good actor. But anyway, that's beside the point.
But
yeah,
Ed Harris. I think Ed Harris is. He seems very serious.
Yes, he's a very
serious.
I've never seen the guy do comedy.
Very serious.
And I think being very serious, you're either going to be the general, or the mob kingpin, or the defense attorney. You're not going to get the happy-go-lucky guy to be in the movie.
I think the closest he's come to comedy,
he's actually pretty good.
The closest he's come to comedy is maybe like The Firm as one of the FBI guys, where he's just exasperated with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as close as he's come to comedy I've ever seen him in.
I wasn't fond of him. I wasn't fond of. I don't like that kind of character, but I'm not just fond of him.
He is a 4-time Oscar nominee, though. So
I know
he does have a pretty good body of work.
He does.
Oh, he's great in The Abyss.
The Abyss was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember him in that. I remember somebody else.
Oh,
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio?
Oh,
yes.
right.
No, you're thinking
the Deep.
You're thinking the Deep.
Oh, I'm thinking the Deep.
Nolte.
The Deep, yes. Oh, right, Nolte.
Much better than Ed Harris.
He's, I don't know. He was probably of the characters, he was probably the low point for me for the movie. I wasn't fond of him.
He was just so bizarre.
He fits that profile for that kind of character from those movies from the 1980s for sure. Yeah, the weird guy who owns the town and looks like a hippie, was probably in Vietnam, and he probably was, like Colonel Kurtz, right? He was in the jungle a little too long.
The balding guy who refuses to admit that he's balding and has ridiculously long hair.
We have none of those here.
Ridiculously long hair.
I don't have that problem.
My hair's not ridiculously long yet. It will be soon, but not yet.
What was it? The actress who plays the bodybuilder.
Katie O'Brien.
Katie O'Brien.
Well, I don't know her. Where do I know her from?
Apparently, she was in Mandalorian.
What's funny is I just saw Twisters yesterday, and she was in that.
Huh.
Playing one of the hokey, goofy people that are part of the Storm Chasers. And when I saw her, and then I saw the preview for this movie, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same girl? Because in that movie, you don't see that she's physically has great physical prowess. So,
interesting. She was in.
She's certainly a bodybuilder. That's not something you do just for the movie.
Is she really? So she really is a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, I think martial artist.
I think she was I think in that movie they make her seem much larger than she really is through scaling and changing the size of rooms and things. But she is some sort of a bodybuilder.
Yes.
So she's really. She was Agent Kimball in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Jentora in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So she's got a bit of a Marvel thing going on too.
Huh.
Interesting. And sadly, during the shooting of this movie, Love Lies Bleeding, she has Crohn's disease, and she had bowel surgery during the shooting of the movie. Yeesh.
Ew,
poor kid. Yeah, that's not good.
No,
she's 35 from Indianapolis, and she is a martial artist. She's actually a martial artist. Wow.
She will hurt you.
Interesting. She looked like
many ways. Many ways.
Wow. She was amazingly fit person.
Yes.
Now,
by the way,
there was Anna. Yeah, go ahead.
Her hairstyle apparently was inspired by Jennifer Beals' Alex from Flashdance.
Totally.
And again,
I saw it.
Very true to the period. Very true to the period.
Yes.
Permish. She was very pretty in the movie.
She is.
They didn't go into the other way and make her look manly as a bodybuilder. She was very pretty.
No, not at all.
The other character I was going to talk about was Daisy, There are a lot of daisies in my life these days. Played by Anna Katerina Barishnikova.
No,
Her
Barishnikov.
parents are.
Barishnikov.
Yeah.
Actually, I see it in two different ways. I see the Russian version has an A on the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So her parents, of course, are famous. I don't know her mom so much, but mom was a ballet dancer, Lisa Reinhardt, and her father, of course, very famous, Mikhail Baryshnikov. She
and her half sister is Jessica Lange's daughter.
Right,
her half
because he was
sister-
married
She
to
hangs
Jessica
out
Lange,
with
right?
a whole bunch of fancy
He was-
people, doesn't she?
correct. Yes, a lot of dancing
Nepo
folks.
baby,
Right,
another Nepo baby.
a lot
Hey.
of nepo babies here. Yeah,
Hey,
If he gets the job
how
for
many
you.
people have you met where nepo babies and they can't get it done? She's a good actress. She was good in this.
Yes,
She is.
I would
She
actually like to
starred-
see her in something else, just to see
She
what she's
starred
really
as
like.
Lavinia Dixon in the series Dickinson.
Oh,
So she played. That was on. Where was that on? That was on the Apple. Oh, it was Apple. That's right, Apple. So she's got a background too. It's a really interesting cast. Did we talk about everybody here? I think we did. All the
and Dave
important
Franco.
people. Dave Franco. We talked about him earlier a bit. He's got an interesting, fun background too. A lot of voiceover stuff, cartoons, things like that. So those are the main folks. So I guess we could go to the what did we think about this movie? I think we kind of know. And give us your last synopsis of this thing. How'd you feel about it? Again,
How did I feel about it?
why? Yeah.
I just thought it was just a fun ride. It was like a pulp movie. It was neo noir. It was like part graphic novel, whatever come to life. Yeah, it was a little ridiculous at times, but so what? I like the characters. I like the actors, so they sold it to me. I liked it from start to finish. I thought it moved pretty quick. There wasn't a whole lot of waste. It was pretty efficient.
Okay, come back to that.
It's under 2
Michael,
hours.
it was under 2
I thought
hours.
it would be more stylistically like Jade or Bound, which the ending of those movies is much better than the ending of this movie.
Jade? Was Jade any good? I don't remember that one. I
thought
know Linda
Jade was good.
Fiorentino's in it.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, I'll have to go
I
back
thought
to
was
that one.
good. There's again some switcheroo kind of things in that.
Well, Bound is good fun.
And again,
Bound is a
they
lot
were
of fun.
they were like this movie. They were brief. They were reasonably well paced. I just thought the ending of this left a little bit desired. And the one aspect I didn't really believe was that some guy who doesn't hesitate to kill people wouldn't have whacked the son-in-law much earlier in the son-in-law's life.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe
Wow.
the son-in-law played a bigger part in the business because he worked at the gun place.
You know what? I could find another person to play a big part in the business that didn't hit my daughter.
Maybe. Who knows?
Or,
Who knows? Yeah,
or
I don't
maybe
get that
the
either.
son-in-law would have a hook for a hand because
I get it.
Something happened here.
I'm not saying you're
it.
wrong, but they didn't really delve
I had to
too
fix
deep into that relationship. So
Yeah, I think there could have been more done with less done with that character being that person, and maybe more done with the character being a rat.
Those kinds of things, I wonder how much doesn't get put in the movie. That maybe that was fleshed out.
There could have been
In something that was-
and for time
that was left off.
you didn't go on that angle. Yeah,
Yeah, totally. Oddly enough, Angie, you said you thought it went pretty quick. I thought it went pretty slow. I was
the very
actually
beginning
surprised.
I thought was slow. First 20 minutes was very slow.
I have a new Apple TV and I could not figure out how to make the thing go forward. So I wanted to make it go faster because it's killing me. Am I going to get through all this?
Apparently,
I wish it was faster.
Aaron needs a few minutes back too at the end.
In the beginning.
I don't know.
I like what you said about that. The way it started, I like the way it's set, but I just thought it was slow. Slow. Someone saw that. I saw a review of it. A very slow burn. It was a slow burn. I had a problem too with the whole drug thing and the domestic violence or whatever you call it, domestic violence. I didn't think it was a great movie. It was entertaining. It probably would not have been my, if I was coming across it because of Kristen Stewart, I probably would watch it. And then if I saw it coming up like you saw it on the HBO.
Well,
screen. Oh,
to be fair, come on, Aaron. I'm quoting your show, and you're not coming with
I
me.
know. To be
Okay.
fair,
Yeah, to be fair.
Letterkenny. Yes.
To be fair.
To be fair.
No, I never really watched much with Kristen Stewart. I kind of like to go back and watch The Girlfriend Experience because I know she's in that.
Yeah.
And I like the show. What's interesting is she's in the movie The Girlfriend Experience, and then Riley Keough is in season 1 of The Girlfriend Experience, and they're very similar to me.
They are very similar.
They look kind of similar. I think they're both really good actresses, and they both have a similar kind of range.
They sort of take on the same kind of roles.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That what's the musical Daisy Jones and the Six? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But I was thinking that she, again, to get out of these kind of angst roles, she could have been in that.
Maybe, yeah. Like I said, they're kind of interchangeable. But I have to say, Riley Keough was fantastic in Daisy Jones and the Six. She was really good in that show.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying she wouldn't have been better than her, but I can see her playing that role. Like you said, that was my first thought. Like she could have been in that because I wasn't putting it together. But I think you're right. She's very similar to.
They're kind of on not a similar path, but they kind of remind me of each other a little bit. I like them both.
The Amazon,
great.
The Amazon Prime show that was just out with Riley Keough about the murder in Canada.
Oh,
That's really Vegas. Under the Bridge?
Yep.
Something about the bridge.
The murder in Canada, because there's only been one. They're Canadian. They're very polite.
I could definitely see Kristen Stewart in that Riley Keough role.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. She would definitely fit that. There is something very unique about them in the way they look, the way they act, the way they move, and the roles they pick, too.
I also think you could put her in the next True Detective.
Who?
Ooh.
Kristen Stewart?
Ooh.
She could be the next True Detective.
That's a great idea.
I think she could be, if you partnered, a man and a woman did something, I think she could be the next in that. I think she has enough age behind her now that she's in her 30s. And I think she could play that, analytical,
young cop,
driven, kind of thing. I think that would work.
You know what we need to do? We need to start the booze.
I don't know why.
We need to start the booze, dancing, entertainment, acting, consulting business because we can help. We can help those folks pick better roles. Different roles.
Or we could kill a large number of series. One or the other.
And a large number of acting careers.
Maybe.
I also think if they did an Ocean's 9,
she could fit that too.
She could certainly play one of the characters in that.
Yes, totally.
Again, I don't think she has to keep playing this same kind of character. I think she can play
I haven't seen her in much, so I don't know what else she's played.
There was that vampire thing.
She was in that small little.
I'm not watching that.
6 or 7 movie.
But interestingly enough, speaking of Twilight, who's the other star in Twilight? The Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Yeah. So Saturday night, I didn't make it through, but I do like the movie. We had the Batman on.
Yeah.
Which he's really good in. Yeah. But I was a little tired, so I passed out.
Is he Batman? Is he the Batman?
He's really good.
He's Alfred, right? He's Alfred.
But then Sunday night, I watched Good Times or Good Time, which he's in, and it's one of those. You know that movie that Adam Sandler did a couple years ago, the one where he's the jeweler who's got a gambling problem. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
So the same guys that did that, the Safdie brothers, did this movie Good Time, and Robert Pattinson or Robert Patterson, whatever his name is it Patterson or Pattinson?
Pattinson.
He's the lead in it.
Yeah.
He's the lead in this movie. He's really, really good. Yeah. It's a really edgy kind of, crime movie in New York. So I watched that on Tuesday night. So I was like, all right. So the Kristen Stewart in the morning, I watched her movie. Then I watched Robert Pattinson at night in the other movie.
They're both had a whole vampire day.
But no vampires. None of that Twilight crap.
I know.
I refuse.
And that's what you miss out on. That you should watch those as well.
The first one is actually really good. The first one's actually really good.
Because the only reason those things succeed is because the acting is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like Marvel characters that you take these great actors and they are all in. They honestly are these characters. They believe like what they're saying is absolutely true. And the movies themselves are very good. The Harry Potter movies, I think are very good because of the
I
way they're acted.
don't I don't
I
remember
think
the
that
second one
those
too
movies are very
well.
good as well.
You definitely see the Potter stuff is a good example. When those first movies of all these things, they're kids. They really are kids, and they're learning. They're learning. The second and third ones, I don't remember the Twilight one so well, but you see a growth in these kids. You really see them become actors, and I vaguely remember the second Twilight, and she and Pattinson become. You can see the growth in them, and you can see that they're going to be really good actors in their life. Um,
and they're coming on board as, I don't know, 16, 17-year-olds, whatever they are, where the Harry Potter kids are all 10s, 11s, whatever. But the adults in the Harry Potter movies are like the adults in the Marvel movies. That they're all in. They're all in.
Right.
And the movies themselves, they're decent fun, they're mindless stuff, and they're really well acted.
Yep, I agree.
Hey,
all right,
hey.
so we have.
Hey, guess what I got? Guess what I got? I got tres leches cake.
Wow.
That's good.
I got some tres leches cake.
You know what I got?
Nothing.
You
You got nothing. Well, I got
I
three
got a whole
pieces. You
lot of
want to come
nothing.
over? Yeah, Aaron, why don't you come over? We'll have some cake.
He's gonna walk through the screen.
Come on, come over. I want some cake.
Inconceivable.
Oh, I got cookies too. Come on, Mike, come over. Sorry.
I got nothing. Nothing.
Sorry, I interrupted.
It's nothing.
But yeah, I haven't seen the
We may have lost Aaron.
what? Did we? No, he's there. I see his eyes moving.
He just
I think he's breathing. He
just
blinked.
motioned to his ears.
Did he?
I'm not sure
He
if
can't hear us? Oh, he can't hear us. Oh no. It's a shame.
He can't hear anything. He's got nothing.
He can't hear anything. Maybe he's got to.
Don't you think we should just move our lips and pretend like we're talking and make it even worse?
I don't know. What's he doing? What's he trying to do? Can he unplug? Replug?
So,
He's smiling.
I was just bad mouthing the movie beforehand because it's fun because you picked it out and I like to make fun of you.
Yes.
But overall, it wasn't to me a very good movie because of the ending.
Okay.
I think it lost something at the end. I like the switcheroos. I like the stylistic aspect of it. Maybe not as much as you do. I know you like style a lot in movies.
Yes.
Style and witty repartee.
Yes. Like us.
I thought that
witty repartee.
I thought the end of it could have been better. It could have been better.
I'll give you. It went a little over. I could see how someone could not like the ending, but you know what? I didn't care. I think they were just. You know what it was? They were lost in love and they conquered Daddy. So
the thing to me, like they're lost in love, and she should have been plotting for when I get the great love, this is the great escape.
Maybe.
And instead, it was like, oh well, what the hell's going to happen now?
Well, but wait. To be fair, in their defense,
settle down.
They did have a couple. Settle down. They did have a couple of bodies to get rid of. So that kind of throws things for a loop here.
No, that's true.
And they weren't exactly master criminals.
No.
Although we still can't hear Aaron.
She was.
He's still just gibbering and jabbering. We can't hear her. What are you saying?
It seems like maybe she was a master criminal. It seems like she was a little more involved in the father's enterprise than
maybe
you're initially led to believe.
Do we hear him yet? Wait, do we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. He's back.
Oh,
he's back.
Oh, I thought we were
technical
like
difficulty.
To be fair,
fellas, sorry.
To be fair,
pitter patter. All right. Well, let's put a bow on this one and
let's give it a final rating.
Final rating. Oh, we don't do that. We don't do ratings. Let's just say
let's do it anyway.
I love my Seagram 7. Oh, you meant the movie.
Not the booze. We know what the booze is.
What final rating up? What about the Southern Comfort?
The Southern Comfort's not what I remember it for sure. I don't remember the last time I had it, but it's not what I remember from 30 years ago.
So is it something you drink straight?
I don't think I would drink it straight today. What if it'd be different on ice? I would not. Probably. I did. Yeah, but then I drank it straight or with Coke, which is weird because Coke is so sweet, and this is so sweet. But didn't someone?
SoCo and cola.
Didn't we read
Southern Comfort?
Didn't we read?
SoCos.
I thought Chuck Cowdery. Someone had an article that because it wasn't always Sazerac, right? It was another company that owned them. Sazerac bought it, bought the brand, and it's not the same formula that it was.
Different. Yeah.
They've changed it. Yeah. So I would give it a thumbs down as a straight drink, and I'd have to experiment with as a mixed drink. And the Seagram's was actually better than I expected. Yeah. It was actually, better than I expected.
I have a bottle of Seagram's under the house with a 1967 tax stamp.
Yeah. Ooh, that's got to be worth something.
It's not worth something, but it's worth, instead of the $7 someone paid, it might be worth $12 now.
There you go. That's more.
At some point in time, as both Angelo and I are born the same year, at some point in time, we'll have to crack that open and see whether it's actually worth anything.
Sure.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Sure. It hasn't gotten any better in the bottle. It doesn't age, but
Was it a screw top? Had to be a screw top.
Yeah, screw top.
Yeah.
So it's got the factory steel still on it.
Do we like our Jim Beam?
Jim Beam, it's growing on me. It's the first sip or two I was a little put off because it doesn't taste like bourbon I would normally drink. Yeah. But after the first couple sips, you go, this is pretty good.
There you go. And the Jameson?
Oh, I mean, Jameson's solid. It's a B.
There you go.
It's a solid B,
sir. How dare you?
It's funny.
It's a B. So is the Johnny Walker Black.
It's at least an A++.
Solid.
2 Bs.
The black is very solid.
2 Bs or not 2 Bs?
That's right. Okay. What we watch, when we drink, live stream podcast with a 1980s motif tonight.
Yeah, feel to it. Yeah.
Right. Yep. We watched Love Lies Bleeding with Kristen Stewart. I keep wanting to say Kristen Stewart. Thumbs up, thumbs down on this movie, boys?
Big thumbs up.
I'd be not recommend. I would not tell people to go see it. I wouldn't tell people not to go see it, but I would not tell people to go see it.
I would say go see it for the cast. Don't see it for the movie. I would say.
So stay for the characters. Don't stay for the ending.
I'd be like that. Yeah. It would not be that.
Yeah.
It would not be that.
I'd give it a big thumbs up. It's sleazy. It's sexy. It's fun. It's pulpy. It's noir-y. It's just fun. Not funny.
You know what?
Fun.
It's just like you in all the good ways.
Sleazy, sexy. Sure.
Yes.
That's me.
All of those.
Sexy sleaze. That's what they call me.
The one thing that I will say, I would like to see more of Katie O'Brien.
You will. I think you will.
I thought she was out of the movie because I didn't know she's an unknown commodity. I did not know her at all. I'd really like to see her again. And I saw her in Twisters. She plays a part of a group of storm chasers, and she was good in it, but I didn't know who that was. It was just one of the people in the crowd. Where I'd like to see her in another movie with a bigger role and see what happens. Again, if they made an Ocean's 9, put both of them in there, they could both play some kind of role.
Really good individual acting roles here. Yeah. Great. Okay, this will be out on a podcast next week, probably-ish, maybe. Correct? And you could get that downloaded for all you, wherever you get your downloaded podcast. This has been another episode of What We Watch When We Drink from the Booze Dancing Entertainment Network. We thank you for tuning in again, and we hope you'll come back next time, which will probably be in a couple weeks. Cheers, boys. You done?
Cheers.
We are done.
Have a good night, everybody.
Cheers, folks.
If you enjoy this show, please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Audible, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can also find us on boozdancing.com, and if you have any questions, comments, show or drink suggestions, email us at boozdancing@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.